क्या पढ़ना है? क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन और मैनेजमेंट. ओके, crop production management. In this chapter, the concept will be how crops are produced and how its management will be done. Okay, so this is the chapter of grade 8. You will know that first chapter of science. Okay, so let's start this chapter. Very easy and very interesting chapter, so let's start. So before starting the chapter, we will study about topics to be covered. What? So we will discuss about topics to be covered in the agriculture. Okay, what will we study? Agriculture. Then types of crop, then whole. 1 second. Then whole agriculture practices, and at last we will study about what? Animal husbandry. Okay, so these were the topics that we study in this chapter. Okay, so let's start this chapter. So our first topic of this chapter is agriculture. What is agriculture? Yes, the practice of cultivating crops and rearing livestock on a large scale is known as agriculture. This is known as what? As a agriculture. These were the definition of the agriculture. The practice of cultivating crops and rearing livestock is known as agriculture. It means in the agriculture, both the things will be coming. What? Rearing livestock and cultivation of crops. But in this chapter, we will study about how crops will be cultivated and some concept about animal rearing. Okay, livestock means animal such as in the animal coming such as goat, cow, ox, etc. Okay, so these were the cultivation of crops and these were the rearing of livestock. Okay, these both, when these both combine, they would be formed. When the cultivation of crops and rearing of livestock combine, they will form agriculture. Okay, so when anywhere asking you question what is agriculture, a definition of the agriculture, you will see that the practice of cultivating crops and rearing livestock on a large scale for the purpose of food is known as agriculture. Very simple definition. Okay, you will must need 2 points. What will cultivation of crops? 1 second. Cultivation of crops and rearing of livestock. These 2 points are the main points and the basic points of the agriculture. Okay, so move to next topic. Next topic is types of crops. Before we will discussing types of crops, first we will discuss what is crops. Crops, when the same kind of planted or cultivated on a one field, a particular field on a large scale for the purpose of food is known as crop. It means जब एक तरीके की मतलब एक सेम काइंड की क्रॉप जब एक पर्टिकुलर लैंड पे ग्रो की जाती है बहुत ही लार्ज स्केल में अपने फूड के लिए, तो उसे क्या कहते हैं? क्रॉप्स कहते हैं. ठीक है, क्या कहते हैं? क्रॉप्स कहते हैं. क्रॉप समझ में आया? क्या होता है क्रॉप्स? व्हेन द सेम काइंड ऑफ प्लांट कल्टीवेटेड ऑन अ सेम लैंड or a particular land is that on a large scale, that is known as crop. Okay, very easy. So they were discuss about what is crops. Okay, then we will discuss types of crops. There are mainly crops to be categorized two types in India. Somewhere the crops will be classified as three types. What name was Rabi crops, Kharif crops, and Zaid crops. Zaid crops was extra, but there were mainly two crops that were categorized in India. That were Rabi and Kharif. Okay, that were Rabi and Kharif. ठीक है. Firstly, we will discuss about what is Rabi crops, when it was sown, when it was harvest. There was many question about Rabi crops. So Rabi crops, the simple definition, very exact definition of the Rabi crops will be the crops which is sown in the winter season is known as Rabi crops. This is the definition of Rabi crops. Or the crops which are sown in the which are harvest in the summer season, that crops is known as Rabi crops. Means Rabi crops को sown कब किया जाता है? Winter में. ठीक. S means sown and W means winter. Okay. And harvest कब किया जाता है? Summer में. ठीक. Rabi means sun. Okay. So that the crops which are harvested in the summer season, that crops is known as Rabi crops. And the crops which are sown in the winter season, that crops is known as Rabi crops also. These were the two definitions of the Rabi crops. Okay, you will write one of them. So when we talk about example of Rabi crops, what will become? Wheat, mustard, gram, peas. 1 marks question coming from this topic, that define Rabi crops or give two example of Rabi crops or give one example or give an example or some about this topic. So you know that the example of the Rabi crops will be wheat, gram, pea, mustard. These were the example of Rabi crops. Okay, these were the example of Rabi crops. And you will know that the Rabi crops were also known as summer crop. Sorry, also known as winter crop. Also Rabi, also known as winter crops. Okay. And on the other hand, there would be a Kharif crops. The Kharif crops will be known as rainy crop. Okay, because the Rabi crops will be sown in the winter season and the Kharif crops will be sown in the rainy season. These were the two other name of the Kharif and Rabi crops. Okay. So when we talk about Kharif crops, so definition of the Kharif crops will be the crops will be sown in the rainy season is known as Kharif crops. And one more definition of the Kharif crops will be the crops which are harvested in the winter season, that is known as Kharif crops. It means Kharif crops Kharif crops. Okay. Yes. Kharif crops will be sown in the rainy season. It means rainy season means June, July. Okay. And harvest in the winter season. It means October to November. Okay. These were the season of when what is Rabi crops, what is Kharif crops, when it was sown, when it was harvest, an example of Rabi crops. An example of the Kharif crops would be was maize, paddy, soya bean and groundnut. These were the example of Kharif crops. You may remember that things. That example of the Kharif crops will be maize, paddy, soya bean and groundnut. These were the example of Kharif crops. So, types of crops will be completed. So, we will move to our very simple and very interesting topic, agriculture practices. What is agriculture practices? The step that is involved in cultivating the crops, that step is known as agriculture practices. In the agriculture practices, there are 7 practices. First, preparation of soil. First, 1 second. First is preparation of soil. Second is one second. First is preparation of soil. Second is sowing. Third is adding manure and fertilizer. Fourth is irrigation. Fifth is removal of weeds or removal of weeds or pest. Okay, or then harvesting and then storage. One more, preparation of soil, then sowing, then adding manure and fertilizer, then irrigation, then removal of weeds, then harvesting and then storage. So storage is the last process and the starting process will be preparing of the soil. So when will the any of the crops will be grown or cultivate or planted? Now, when any of the crops will be grown, cultivated or planted, they will need these steps. If you do not do these steps, you will not get the crops, because for growing the crops, we will need to do some work such as preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizer, irrigation, removal of weeds, harvesting and storage. Okay. So one by one we will discuss about each agriculture practices. So first agriculture practices is a preparation of soil. What is preparation of soil? The process of loosening and turning the soil is called preparation of soil. In the preparation of soil, there are many advantages, such as first will be loosen of soil. First will be loosen of soil. We will lose the soil. Okay. And second will be help in growth of microbes, friendly microbes which were very necessary for the soil. These were helping growth by the preparation of soil. In the preparation of soil, two process will be coming, tilling or and plugging. These two process, tilling and plugging, both are same. If in the examination you will ask that what is tilling or what is plugging, so the definition will be the process of turning or loosening the soil is known as tilling or plugging. If if the examiner asked you the advantage of the preparation of soil, so you will write these 4 points. Okay, first will be loosen of soil, second will be help in growth of microbes, and third will be allow root to breathe easily. You will know that by the root the plant can breathe. Okay, or some exchange gases by the stomata. And fourth, the last point will be mix the soil nutrient uniformly. The nutrient that are present in the soil, that nutrient is known as soil nutrient. And when the soil nutrient are mixed uniformly, the soil will be prepared for the planted crops. When the tilling or plugging, the process will be done, then the crop will be ready for the sowing. The next agriculture practices. But before we study that, we will study about tool required for tilling or plugging. Okay, so tool required for tilling and plugging. In the tools required that for tilling or plugging, two groups can be divided. First will be traditional, second will be modern. You will know that what is traditional tools that used for long ago time, and modern that is new machine and that saves our time, that saves our hard work, that saves labor, that saves our money. These were the things that advantage of the modern tool. Okay, traditional tool. In the traditional tool, two tools are coming. First will be plow. First will be plow and second will be hoe. First will be plow and second will be hoe. So these are the structure of the plow and hoe. Okay. So in the plow, you will see that this is being used for the ancient time. Okay, this is used in the ancient time for the preparing soil, and in the preparing of soil, two process of coming. You will know that the tilling or plugging. If you say tilling or if you say plugging, both are the same things. Okay, there are many advantages of also plow. What by the plow, the farmers will add fertilizer to the soil or manure, and preparation of soil will be done, means tilling or plugging will be done, and the removal of weeds will be done, and at last the turning of soil will be also done. Okay, so these were the advantage of plow. Plow is a tool that is used in the ancient time for the preparation of soil, removal of weeds, adding fertilizer, yeah, or you can say that they're adding manure and fertilizer to the soil. Okay, crops or soil, both are same things. Okay, so second traditional tool will be hoe. Hoe will be not by the hoe you cannot do many things, but by the plow you can do many things, such as the sowing of seed also. No, sorry, preparation of soil will be done, and adding fertilizer will be done, manure fertilizer will be done, and the removal of weeds is also be done. But by the hoe, it is a very simple tool. It is also a traditional tool. Okay, and by this the two things we can done. First is preparation of soil, means tilling or plugging. First is tilling can be done, or second is removal of weeds will be done. Okay, removal of weeds will be done. So you can see that these are the structure of the hoe. These are the structure of the hoe, how hoe were looking. And on the other hand side, we will also know that the modern tool, that is cultivator. That is cultivator. The cultivator can do many things, can save our time, can save our labor, can save our money. Okay, so the cultivator, it is a modern tool. Okay, it is a modern tool. ठीक है. So the cultivator can be save our time, can be save our many things. Okay, so these were the very important and very essential. In the modern time we use cultivator. Somewhere the farmers, some farmers, about 10% of the farmers use plow hoe. Otherwise 90% of the farmer use cultivator, because cultivator is a very cheapest and saves our time, saves our labor, saves money. These were the advantage of the modern tool. Okay, so move to our next agriculture practices, that is sowing. That is sowing. Okay, what is sowing? The process of the planting seed to the crops or to the soil is known as sowing. What I am say, the process of planting seed in the soil is known as sowing. The crops will be dependent how quality of seed, how good quality of seed will be plant. When the seeds would be a very good quality, so the crops will also grow in very quality, very good quality. Okay, if the seed were bad, the crops will not of good quality. Many insects can attack in the crops. Okay, so desirable qualities of seed. In the desirable qualities of seed, 3 points are coming. What will be they? First is seed should be disease resistant. Seed should be a disease free. Okay. Second is seed should be of high yield variety. Seed should be of high yield variety. And the third point is seed should have high water adaptability. It means that seed have the capability, she have more capability to absorb water from the root. It means water adaptability capacity of the seed will be more. Then the quality of seed will be good. Okay. Then how to check that which seed is the good and which seed is the bad? So by checking this, there was a seed test or an experiment that is given in your book. Firstly take one beaker. Suppose this were the beaker. One second. Suppose this is a beaker. Okay. Suppose this is a beaker. In the beaker, you will add or put some water about you will put water into it. Okay. What you will put water into it. One second. Yes. Firstly, we take, yes, this was the dark color, so can easy to see. Then you will add some yes, you will add some water into the beaker. Okay, you will add some water. When you add some water, you will add seed that you bring from the market into the beaker. After some time, after 1 or 2 minutes, the bad quality of seed would be float on water. Would be float on water. Suppose your seed will be of yellow color. So seed will be of yellow color. You will suppose these were the your seed. Okay, you will add into this beaker. If after some time, means just about 30 to 45 seconds, you will see that the bad quality of seed will be float on water. It means they will float on water, but the good quality of seed will be sink in water, So one second. Yes, this seed this seed that is float in water may be bad quality, may be bad seed, or these seed that will sink this seed. Okay, this seed is a good. These seed is a good, and the seed that will float on water, that is bad seed. Why? Because the bad seed will be hollow, inside the hollow space, hollow, and the density, okay, the density is less than water, so then float in water. They have not enough weight according to the compare of the good quality of seed. The good quality of seed did not hollow. Okay, so by this activity you will understand which is a very bad quality of seed and which is a good quality of seed. So understand now. So move to our next topic, that is tools required for sowing. Earlier in this chapter we will learn about tool required for plugging. Okay, so in this we will study tools used for sowing. So in this tools for sowing, in the every tools that we study in this chapter, the tools will be divided into two categories. First will be traditional and second will be modern. Okay, first will be traditional and second will be modern. Okay, so in the sewing, the traditional tool will be funnel sewing. Traditional tool will be funnel sewing. Done. You will see the structure. One second. You will see the structure here of the funnel funnel sewing. You will, these were the tool. Okay, this is the tool of the this is a traditional tool that is used for sewing. The structure you will see here. In this funnel sewing, now there would be a three part. First will be funnel, second will be pipe, and third will be digging tool. Okay, first will be funnel, second will be pipe, third will be digging tool. The funnel will be here. One second. The funnel will be here. This was the funnel like structure, and in the bottom of the this funnel sewing, you will see that the digging tool. First digging tool, you will see that like these were the digging tool. This is a digging tool. Okay, and at the middle of this funnel sewing, you will see that a pipe like structure. This pipe like structure is known as pipe. Okay, means in this funnel sewing we will named as a pipe like structure. Okay, so this funnel sewing is a traditional tool. It has three parts, which is funnel, pipe like structure of pipe, or digging tool. Okay, and In the method of sowing, cattle is also used. Cattle means you know that livestock. In the livestock, many animals such as ox, cow, goat, these were the by this cattle, the farmers would also sown the seed. But when we turn into a modern tool, you will see 1 second. You will see more seed drill. Okay, the modern tool will be seed drill. Seed drill has many advantage. What will the advantage? Seed drill. Firstly, you will see here the structure of seed drill, how seed drill were looking. Okay, and the seed drill had the advantage that the seeds are the sown uniformly. Seeds are sown at the proper depth, and seeds were not eaten by the birds. These and these were not done by funnel sowing. Okay, when we sown the seed by spreading by our hand, by our hand manually, when we done the sowing, we what we can do, we can spreading the seed over the field. But seed, some seed, not 100%, so 50% of seed will be eaten by the birds. But by the seed drill, there will be no chance by the bird can eat the seed. All the seed would be safe. Okay, safe in the field. So seed drill has many advantage. Okay, so seeds are sown uniformly, seeds are sown at the proper depth, or seeds will be not eaten by the birds. But the farmers have very loss when sometimes the all the seeds were eaten by the birds, and sometimes half of the seeds were eaten by the bird. So the farmers very loss, they have very loss, they have not profit, they have a loss of money. Okay, so by the time the technology will be developed and modern tool will be invented, okay, by the modern tool it can advantage, it can make advantage to compare to the traditional tool. Okay, so these two are the tools required for the sowing. The third will be adding manure and fertilizer, our third agriculture practices. So in the adding manure and fertilizer, what will be done? Okay. Huh. In the adding manure and fertilizer, we can add or farmers add a manure or fertilizer to the soil. By the manure or fertilizer and by the organic substance or inorganic or organic salt that contain the manure and fertilizer, they fulfill the requirement of the soil. The crops will be grown properly, the crops will be grown good quality. Okay, so in the addition of manure and fertilizer, the composting, that is a process of decomposition of, that is process of decomposition of kitchen waste, animal waste and agricultural waste. Okay, these composting is the process of decomposition of kitchen waste, animal waste and agricultural waste. Okay, so in the by the process of composting, the manure and organic substance that were by the nature, that were made by the nature or made by the natural substance such as kitchen waste, animal and agricultural waste. Okay, so the manure will be obtained by the decomposition, mean composting. Okay, how the manure will be formed? The farmer kept plant waste, animal waste, 1 second, plant waste, okay, animal waste, take, and agriculture waste. These three waste can be decomposed by the farmer. In the open place, the farmers put three waste that were released by their home or that were waste. So they were put in the open place, and after a long time they were converted into humus that were very good for the soil, and that is organic substance which is we called manure. Okay, which we called manure. So you will see that the kitchen waste or animal waste or some agricultural waste. Okay, so these were the manure definition and composting. So when we talk about advantage of manure, we will study about what is manure. So by the advantage of manure, many advantage. If the things has an advantage, besides of this it has a limitation or disadvantage also. Okay, so advantage of advantage of manure. Okay, advantage of manure. The advantage of manure is enhance water retention to the soil. It cools the water capacity, okay, for a longer time, and facilitates exchange of gases. It enhances water retention. It facilitates exchange of gases. It exchange of gases. Okay. Exchange of gases and increase friendly microbes to the soil. You will know that the microbes of maybe friendly microbes. You will know that the friendly microbes are very helpful for the farmers or for the crops. But the harmful microbes can be very harmful. By the name, you can realize that who were the important and who were the okay. So these were the advantage of manure. First, it enhances water retention. Second, it increases the friendly microbes. Third, it allows it facilitates or allows exchange of gases. Okay, these were the advantage of manure. Okay, so when we talk about advantage of manure, so it now I am saying that when the substance has the advantage, any of the material have advantage, so it has limitation or disadvantage. So limitation of manure will be, first is manure has a limited soil nutrient. The manure will contain a limit in the limit quantity. The manure will be contains soil nutrient. Okay, and it has a deficit nutrient that were very it means that micronutrient that the plant will be required in very small quantity, that is very essential nutrient, that is nitrogen. We can see that the symbol of the nitrogen will be N. What symbol of the nitrogen will be N? Okay, and second will be phosphorus. Symbol of the phosphorus will be P. Third is the potassium. The symbol of the potassium will be K. So NPK is in a fertilizer. Okay, NPK is example of fertilizer. But the manure contain, it is not example of manure, but the manure contain a nutrient that were plant requirement, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in very small quantity, and the manure contain in the limited soil nutrient. Okay, so on the other hand side we will talk about manure. So fertilizer, what is fertilizer? So fertilizer are, these are inorganic salt. Okay, these are inorganic salt that are rich in nutrient. Okay, so the fertilizer is a very rich in nutrient, but it has many disadvantages that we study later. Okay, so example of the fertilizer will be urea, NPK, so super phosphate, ammonium sulfate. Okay, these were the example of fertilizer, urea, NPK, ammonium sulfate. These were the example of fertilizer. And the 3 points about fertilizer would be: first, it would inorganic salt. Second, made in factories. What made in factories? These are the point in the examination. Many teachers can ask difference between fertilizer and manure. So in the fertilizer, you will write it is inorganic salt. It is made from the inorganic salt. Okay, it is made in factories. It is rich in nutrient. It is have more nutrient compared to the manure. Okay, so these were the these were the difference between fertilizer and manure. Okay, and for the third is that were rich in nutrient. Okay, these were the these were the points of the fertilizer. So when we move to the next, we will talk about advantage of fertilizer. We will talk about advantage of fertilizer. What is the advantage of fertilizer? The fertilizer will be some advantage and some disadvantage also. We will study that it contain specific nutrient like NPK. It means nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Okay, it contain essential nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And it enhance growth and yield of crops. It can grow the crops. It can help in the growth of crops. Okay, these were the advantage of fertilizer. But on the other hand side, there was also disadvantage. So disadvantage is it reduces soil fertility. It kills friendly microbes. It kills friendly microbes. Okay, and it causes water pollution. Three disadvantage in the examination. The teacher will be asked you what is the disadvantage of fertilizer, what is the advantage of fertilizer. So we'll in the advantage of fertilizer, you will write these 2 points. Okay, and in the disadvantage of fertilizer, you will write these 3 points. Okay, so you can got full marks in the examination. So there is a difference between, you can see that there is a difference here. Yes, here the difference between manure and fertilizer. So you can take a screenshot of this because in the examination many of you can confuse. So very simple. Manure is an organic substance obtained from the agriculture waste or animal waste or kitchen waste, such as it can be prepared in field. Okay, and it is rich in nutrient like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and it provides humus to the soil. On the other hand, what is a fertilizer? It is an inorganic salt. Okay, made from synthetic substance mean man-made substance, and prepared in factories, and rich in relatively less rich in nutrient. The fertilizer will be less rich in nutrient compared to the manure. So the last point will be does not provide any humus to the soil, but the manure provide humus to the soil. Okay, so we will move to our in the adding manure and fertilizer. A topic will be there, that is eutrophication. These were some extra knowledge in your book. I know that the eutrophication will be not given, but you can study. Okay, so these were the eutrophication definition. In the eutrophication, when we reduced, we know that, and we study earlier in this chapter that the disadvantage of fertilizer, it causes water pollution. Okay, so when we release excess amount of fertilizer into the water, what I'm saying, listen carefully. Okay, what I'm saying, that when we excess use of fertilizer, or when we release excess fertilizer into the water, or into the river, or into the lakes, ponds, oceans, etc., when we release the aquatic animal, the whole cause will be on aquatic animal life. The aquatic animal did not survive as a long day, they will die. Okay, if we release excess fertilizer or chemical fertilizer into the river or into the any water bodies, it may harm to the it may harm to the aquatic animal like algae, like many fish, and like many organisms, small microorganism. Okay, so we can stop this. This is process called eutrophication. You can understand what is eutrophication now. So the eutrophication is the excess release of fertilizer into the water bodies that may harm to the that leads harm to the aquatic animals or aquatic life, that they may face difficulty to survive. Okay, so this is eutrophication. Besides of this, one another topic, that is alternate method of soil replenishment. What is the method that is used for the soil replenishment? That is, first two process will be there: land fallowing and crop rotation. Okay, the land fallowing is, in the land fallowing, the land is left barren for one or more season. Okay, the land is left barren for one or more season. You will say, by the land, when we left the land barren, it may cause deforestation, it may cause soil erosion, but there will be no any cause, because in this only one or two season, more to more one or two season. Okay, it help in retrieving the soil nutrients that were loses by the soil. Okay, what I'm saying, it helps in retrieving the soil nutrient in the soil, lost nutrient. It helps in retrieving the lost nutrient of the soil. When we left land barren for one or more season, or for one or two season, the it helps to this this is called land following, and it helps to gain, or it helps to retrieving the lost nutrient of the soil. Okay, this process is called land fallowing. But on the other hand, there would be a crop rotation. Okay, crop rotation. So what is the crop rotation? The crop rotation is that different crops are grown alternately. For example, leguminous crops are grown after growing wheat. After the when we grow wheat, after it, the crops will be leguminous crops will be grown, and different crops are grown alternately. One by one, the different crops will be grown in the same field. Firstly, when we, for example, we planted the wheat. After the storage, after the harvesting of the wheat, we will planted leguminous crop. By the crop, two advantage. Firstly, you will know that they provide food to us. That is very simple. But on the other hand, second advantage is it helps in fixation of nitrogen. It in You will know that the this process, and this is the root nodule. Okay, these were the microorganism. Okay, so you will know that the what atmospheric nitrogen to nitrate or nitrate and nitrite. These were the two nitrogen oxide in the form of nitrate or nitrite, the plant can able to take the nitrogen. Okay, they will not take in the gaseous. So these are the crop rotation. This is known as this process is known as crop rotation, and this process is known as, one second, this process is known as crop rotation. This process is known as land following. Okay, so these two are the process that were alternate method of soil replenishment. Okay, so move to our next topic, which is irrigation. What is irrigation? Supply of water to the crops at a regular interval. This is crop irrigation. This is called irrigation. Means supply of the water to the crops at a regular interval. This is called irrigation. Okay. A source of the irrigation would be river, tube well, dam. मतलब by this river, tube well, dam, or well, etc. we can give the plant, we give can done the irrigation or give the water to the plant at the regular interval. Okay, and this process is known as irrigation. The traditional tool of irrigation or the traditional method of irrigation, in this non tool, the traditional method of irrigation and the modern method of irrigation. Okay, so irrigation method of irrigation can be divided into two types. First traditional, second modern. In the traditional, first will be coming chain pump. You will, one second, you will see here. This is a, one second. This is a chain pump. Okay, how the chain pump works, we will now discuss. Okay, the farmers rotate a wheel. The wheel, okay, one wheel is attached. The farmer rotate the wheel that allows to a bucket attached to a chain. Okay, to a chain to collect wood. It means the farmer rotates wheel. Firstly, they rotates wheel, and it allows a bucket that were attached with the chain to collect water and supply the crops at the regular interval. This is a easy, very chain pump. This is a very easy chain pump. The second is moat. You will say, you will see here, moat can be done. See here, okay, moat can be done. So in the moat, the bucket is attached by a pulley that were drawn by the cattle. A bucket is attached to the pulley, okay, and the pulley were drawn by the cattle, means animal like cow or ox. Okay, so this is a chain pump and this is a moat. Very easy, but okay. So next traditional tool is dhekli. Okay, in the dhekli, the you will see dhekli here. Here are the dhekli, and here you will see rahat. These two are the traditional method. One by one we'll discuss. In the dhekli, the farmers immerse an empty bucket. The farmers immerse an empty bucket. You will see that the farmers and take the empty bucket into the water. The empty bucket put down the farmer by the farmer, and it is pulled due to weight on the other hand of the rock. What will be, I am saying, a farmer can a farmer immerse one second a farmer's immerse an empty bucket to the water, and the bucket then be filled, then will be when the bucket will be filled, okay, is pulled up by the weight, is pulled up by the weight of the other end of the rock. It means on the other end the rock will be placed. On the other end the rock will be placed. Okay. So this is a dekli. In the dekli, the farmer immersed the empty bucket into the water, and when the bucket was filled, it was pulled up by the weight of the other end of the rock. Okay. So then rahat. In the rahat, you will see that you will see here. You will see here rahat, the structure of the rahat. 1 second. Okay. In the rahat, the cattle means you know that animal. The cattle is connected to a wheel. The cattle is connected to a wheel. It means cattle is means suppose that we will take cow or ox. It will attach to the wheel. Okay. When the cattle move, it means when the animal moves. It means you will suppose here the animal. Suppose here the animal, and the animal when the move is starting moving. Okay, they rotate the wheel. The kettle is attached by the wheel, and when they are moving, when they are walking, or when they move, the attached wheel will be rotate. The rotate. Okay, so rotate and bucket attached to it. This helps in drawing water from the wheel. अब इसमें क्या होगा? The kettle is attached to the wheel. When the kettle moved forward, the wheel will be rotated and the wheel will be attached to the bucket. When the bucket will be filled, it will be pulled by the animal also, and that will attached to the wheel. So by this method also we will do the irrigation, and this was the traditional tool. These four: chain pump, moat, dhekli, rahat, four are the traditional method of irrigation. But when we study about modern method of irrigation, we will study about two: drip irrigation and the sprinkler irrigation. Very simple. These two modern method of irrigation can save our water, for the future. Okay, you will know that the water is present in very high amount or unlimited quantity, you can say that, but the fresh water is available around 2.7% over the earth, so we can save it them for the future. Okay, also, so in the drip system or irrigation system, in the drip system, the water is supplied to the crops drop by drop. It means first drop, second drop, third drop by drop to the crops. This system is known as drip system. This system is known as drip system. And sprinkler system. Sprinkler system simulates rainfall. It's rainfall, it means rain. Okay, rain, and it used an uneven land surface. The sprinkler system simulates the rainfall that is useful for the uneven land surface. Okay, so these were the two modern method of irrigation. Then we will move to the our next agriculture practices, that is protection from weed and the removal of weeds. Protection from weed or removal of weed. Okay. Removal of weed. You can say what is weed. So weed is a unwanted plant. Weed is a 1 second. This is an unwanted plant. Okay, so the unwanted plant that will grow with the crops, these unwanted plant is known as weed. These unwanted plant is known as weed. Okay, so by the if we not removal, they will may goes by of the crops with the crops, so they may be harmful. They causes disease also. Okay, okay. So in the field, many undesirable plants also grow. This is called weeds. Okay, and in the removal of weeds, the manual of weeding also. In the manual of weeding, it means method of weeding. There are two methods. First will be a manual method. Second will be a chemical method. So in the manual method, it will by hand. It will done by the hand. Removal of weeds can be done by tilling, which helps in uprooting and killing weeds, and second, manually using a khurpi. First is tools that were used for tilling, plugging. You will know that with the removal of weeds, we can know and we can study. But second is tools that is known as khurpi in Hindi. Okay, and the chemical method by spraying the weedicide, such as 2,4-D is a weedicide. Now, these by the weedicide the unwanted plant can destroy. But disadvantage of weedicide is they will affect the crops. They will affect the quality of crops. Okay. So these were two methods. So move to our next. These were the method, and next agriculture practices would be a harvesting. Would be a harvesting. What with the harvesting? You will know that, and we will study from the class 6 that harvesting is the cutting down of the grains or of the crops when they are matured. The harvesting is the process of cutting trees or cutting when harvesting the process of cutting crops when they are matured. Okay, so harvesting tools that are used for, again, traditional tool and modern tool. In the traditional tool, you will see sickle. You will see sickle. Over here, you will see sickle. Okay, you will see these are the structure of sickle. And modern method, they were combiner. Okay, so in the traditional method sickle, this instrument is known as the sickle, and instrument is known as combine, and this is known as sickle. The harvesting is done manually by the help of sickle. Okay, the harvesting is done manually by the help of sickle, which is a traditional tool. Very simple. The harvesting is done manually by using the sickle, which is a traditional tool. Okay, and in the modern tool combiner, in the combiner, advantage is there that the combiner can do two processes. What will be harvesting and threshing both together. But when we not use the combiner, so we will do firstly harvesting, then threshing also. Okay, so combiner, you will see combiner here. Combiner is a modern tool which is used for, you know that the which is used for harvesting, and by this you will learn the harvesting and threshing both. Okay, these two are the method of harvesting. Then our last, before last, they were used post harvesting. We will study about threshing that were done by the cultivator at with the winnowing. That is the post harvesting threshing. You will know that the process of separating grain from chaff is known as the threshing. Chaff means husk. Okay, chaff means husk. Okay, if anywhere you will see chaff, so quickly you will understand this is talking about husk. Okay, don't forget these things, the small things will be a very important. Okay, so this is the post harvesting, means threshing. Threshing is the process of separating grain from chaff. This process is known as threshing. And post harvesting, in the post harvesting, two processes are coming. First will be threshing and second will be winnowing. Threshing, you know, that the process of separating grain from chaff, and the winnowing is the process of separating the grain from the chaff also. But in the threshing, you will also write the grains from the straw. Okay, so both will be same things, but their process will be different. Okay, the threshing will be also done by thresher. Okay, and winnowing, you will know that the traditional method or modern method also. So when we talk about tools that are used for sewing, in the tools, two things are coming. You know that the traditional and modern. Which one? Traditional and modern. So in the traditional method, the farmers manually separate grains of chaff with the help of wind. In the traditional method, the farmer will separate grain from chaff with the help of the wind, But modern method is the winnowing machine, which can be easily separate grain from the chaff, which can be quickly and easily separate grain. But in the traditional method, the farmers will do the winnowing with the help of the wind. Okay, so our last agriculture practices, this is storage, and it is the very necessary things, because very necessary agriculture practices, because if we do not do storage and do not be careful of storage, then your crops, your all the work will be a failed, and your all crop will be a can be eaten by the rat, microorganism can be attacked. Okay, so the storage is a agriculture very important agriculture practices that were sorry okay, the storage is a very important, very necessary agriculture practices. Okay, so in the agriculture, in the storage, when the harvesting and threshing and winnowing, all the agriculture practices will be done, they will be safe from the rat microorganism and many other animal, because the animal can eat it. Okay, so these are the storage is very essential. Okay, and storage challenge, one challenge is there, the when we like, when we complete the whole agriculture practices, our last agriculture practices will be left, that is storage. The storage challenge is that we will save our grains from the rat, microorganism, insects, okay, and moisture. Moisture will also a challenge of the storage. If the moisture will be there, the grain will be a bad quality, it means that grain will be soon mm, 1 second. Huh. Grain would be a soon bad quality. Okay, so these were the challenge of the storage. We can save these things by the rats, microorganisms, mosquitoes, insects, and sorry, mosquitoes, not insects, and moisture. Which moisture can contain air or humidity that we change, that was these were the storage challenge that were faced by the farmers. And there were two types of storage, also. The types of storage, it is, first is small scale storage, and second is large scale storage. In the small scale storage, the crops will be, it means the the grains will be kept in a very small quantity or very low quantity, and in the large scale storage, the grains will be kept at a very large scale or very high quantity. Okay, so small scale storage, for example, will be a jute bag and metal bins. These were the two examples of the small scale storage. But in the large scale storage, two that are granaries and silos, that were in the granaries or silos, the grains will be kept on a large scale. Okay, so now we will finish the whole agriculture practices. Our last topic of this chapter is the animal husbandry. What is animal husbandry? It is a practice of rearing and taking care of animal on a large scale to obtain food products from them. In the animal husbandry, we we rearing livestock on a large scale for the production of food or for the food on a large scale for the food to obtain some things from them. We know that from for the food we can also say, but to something from them. Okay, so such that the cattle provide milk. Cattle means cow, goat. Okay, and poultry provide egg and meat. Egg and meat means in the poultry becomes hens. Okay, and fishery provides various nutrients. It means fish also provide such as protein. Fish provide protein. Okay, so animal husbandry, you know that it is a rearing and cultivating of livestock on a large scale for obtaining something from them, such as the cattle provide milk, poultry provide egg and meat, and fishery provide various nutrients such as protein. Okay, so at last our chapter will be end, and bye bye guys. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Bye bye.